there is a resilience there that I don't think people on the outside understand, as well as a level of political education that you just don't see elsewhere. And you definitely don't see that level of political education from the key figures who propagandized for this genocide within the Biden administration.
Yes, well, this is a tough clip to watch, but it speaks to the mentality of the Democrats, especially the Biden administration veterans who refuse to own up to anything that they did. Karine Jean-Pierre, who was not a very important figure in the Biden administration, she was just the press secretary, where her job is to just spin the media and deliver scripted lines. But listen to how she was. Listen to how she handles being asked about does she regret defending the Biden administration's support for genocide. We're not going to watch the whole clip, just the most, I think, revealing part. I'm going to...
Because I want to get, we got a few more things.
But of course not. Of course not. And you know, I hope that we get to a place where we can get to a peace agreement in the Middle East. And I know that's going to be incredibly tough to make that happen.
Now that you are speaking for yourself, Karine, do you have any regrets at all for anything that you said while you were speaking on behalf of this administration?
Look.
It's just it's a simple yes or no. You don't even know.
No, because you're asking for a yes or no question. I want to put some context to it too. I woke up every day. I woke up every day very proud to be the White House press secretary. I woke up every day as a Black woman who is queer, who no one had ever seen someone like me at that podium standing behind that lectern. It was an honor and a privilege to have that job. And I did it to the best of my abilities. And I spoke for the President of the United States, a person that I believe was a decent person. We did not get everything right. No one is saying we got everything right. No one is saying that we got everything right. No one is saying that. But we did it to our best of our abilities, and I worked very hard to do that job. And so I want to put it into context. And as you know, at the podium, you don't do yes or no question answers.
No, we were hoping you would now that you are speaking for yourself and you're not at the podium.
I was very proud. I was very proud of everything that I did. So I don't take anything back. I was really proud of everything that I did. Again, we didn't get everything right.
All right, Karine Jean-Pierre, thank you.
She was the person who called demands for a ceasefire disgraceful. That's one of the greatest hits of Karine Jean-Pierre. This was back in 2020, like right after the genocide began. She said calls for a ceasefire are repugnant and disgraceful, and she doesn't take that back. And her only answer is, I'm a Black queer woman. That's basically all she can say. I'm a Black queer woman, so therefore it's
she
fine.
Woke up every day as a Black queer woman.
Yeah.
We don't know how she went to bed. Well, isn't that so telling of what that class of political operatives is? That they just weaponize their identity in order to reinforce the most progressive iterations of establishment politics. And isn't that really, if you distill what liberalism has become in the US down to its toxic essence, what liberalism is, which is a thin veneer of rainbow identity masking this genocidal Death Star, actually using identity to justify genocide in the name of careerism.
Yes, and not just genocide, but ethno-supremacist genocide. So identitarian genocide, because it's committed by a Jewish supremacist state. So you're going to use progressive talking points and progressive values, Black and queer, to propagandize ultimately on behalf of a foreign white ethno state. That's what she's doing. And it's weird. She's someone who she has a progressive background. She used to work with Haiti
Liberté. She did.
Yeah, which is like a really anti-imperialist group focused on Haiti. And she previously was critical of Israel. And all once you get into power, all that's out the window.
Yeah.
To the point where even now she still can't even express any regret.
She's sort of, her and Van Jones should team up and write a book on like the habits of highly effective sellouts or something. Like they both kind of had dipped their toes in very radical circles and wound up on the other side. But, you know, she couldn't even get as far as Matthew Miller, the State Department spokesman, Smirkula, who actually said, well, I was actually providing cover for war crimes, but that was my job.
Yeah.
Because she wants to be in the administration. Again, these people are always walking through the revolving door and they can never give up. That's why Kamala Harris actually has entertained hopes of running again. Someone she never won a single delegate and rode the coattails of Joe Biden's dementia-addled campaign to become vice president and then the nominee. And now she's entertaining the fantasy that she is somehow going to become president. And Karine Jean-Pierre probably thinks she'll be in some high-level position in the White House, like some comms position. So she has to demonstrate total loyalty because that's what matters in Washington. And that means no reflection on the Holocaust of our time among that class of people. And they have to be held accountable for that. They're gonna come back. This crew is gonna come back in 2028. They're all going to be back and they're going to be asking for everyone's votes, and they're not going to be doing any reflection on this issue. Is everyone ready to walk away after all of what we've endured under Trump? That's the question.